Hello, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, and welcome everyone to today's meeting. It's so exciting. We have our team all dressed up, and we are ready to take a trip around the world.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Okay, so welcome everybody. I think we have a brand new member here with us today. So let's give a special welcome. Hi, Claude. Welcome. And before we start today's meeting, I'd really like to hear a few words from our VP membership, who has some news for us.
Can
Hello,
I introduce the president before?
Don't worry about it, Bernadette.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Well, first, like you said, I wanted to take an opportunity to welcome our new member, which is Claude, and I don't see on my particular screen, but I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm so excited that you're here and that you've joined us. We've given you this warm and roaring welcome, so please, we hope that you come on, and I know you'll have so many great things that you'll do, but I have one more message for everyone else that is here. So it is that time of the year where it's time for us to make sure that we are making our club very strong, and we do that by paying our dues. So if we could make every effort, please contact me if there's any concerns or anything you want to know about how to do so. But we want to encourage all of those who are in positions of leadership to please pay their dues by the end of August, because the goal is that we are going to make sure that we're getting out in front and we're doing this and being the true leaders that we are. And then for everyone else, we ask that you also consider doing your dues a little bit early. So not by the end of September, but about around September 20th. We would love it if you would submit your dues and make sure we keep this club going strong and powerful like we all are. And we're all leaders, and so we're all going to get in this effort and be communal and do it together. So that is my, PSA, and I can't wait for us to walk into this new year together. So thank you very much, Madam President, and I turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Haisha. Okay, so I've just observed that we have some guests with us today, two of which are stepping up and actually taking roles. But we have a brand new person coming in. I just noticed that Mohammed, you're joining us? Can you just tell us where you're joining us from? All right. Okay, so perhaps later in the meeting, if you could just type in the chat, Mohammed, welcome. We're so happy to have you, to let us know where you are joining us from. Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we're in for a very special treat today. We're in for a very special meeting. Every trip, apparently, we are going on a trip. So every trip, hold a second, let me make sure I have the right thing. For us to go on this trip, we need to have a captain. We need to have a pilot. And today's captain of our world tour will guide us through exotic lands of inspiration, laughter, and learning. So I invite you to fasten those seatbelts, guys, and welcome our pilot, DTM, our immediate past president, Genevieve Johnson. Genevieve, we just want to encourage you to click that unmute button so we don't miss a word.
I am not today. I'm my usual place. I'm on vacation, so things don't seem to work as they should. Welcome, everyone. And today, I'd like to share my screen before I get started here. Let's see if I can do that and share with you my... It doesn't seem to work here. Technology, when you're on vacation, technology doesn't seem always to work on remote places. So I'd like to skip that and get started. Around the world, 16 minutes. I think we only have 55 minutes left. Some of us are just back from vacation, others are still looking forward to it. And vacation, what does it mean? A change of scenery. And that's exactly what we'll do today. In 60 minutes, we tour the world through our speeches and role plays. And I'd like to share a story with you. A few years ago, I had a mission in South Africa. Usually I try and mix pleasure and business when I can. Nowadays, we check internet and look for, understand the weather, the food, and places to visit. But I didn't do that. I was going to South Africa. This is Africa. Same weather, and plus we're in June. June means summer, warm, and I didn't check the weather. Guess what happened? My wardrobe was far from convenient. I was freezing. Instead of enjoying my free days, I spent them shopping for warm clothes and trying to get ready for the conference. So here's my advice. As your captain today, please pack wisely, travel light, and get ready for fun journey. And as Mark Twain said, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. Buckle up and follow me as we set off on our less than 60-minute trip around the world. For the benefits of our new members and esteemed guests, I'll explain the structure of a Toastmasters meeting. First, we had some information from our president and vice president for membership. Then will come the education segment with prepared speeches and impromptu speeches where we learn to speak on our feet. And then comes last, the evaluation phase, during which we receive feedback to help us grow. To start today, I'd like to call someone who will be today our Chief Travel Inspector. Our Chief Travel Inspector is someone very experienced, a very key member to our club, dedicated and an example to most of us. She serves as mentor to many of us, and she shared with me a story. Her most memorable vacation was discovering Italians and how they like to talk. So once she was on the bus with her family, and some Italians tried to communicate with them, but they couldn't understand. And finally, one lady told them, say, "See when you understand, and no when you don't." She admitted that the conversation didn't go anywhere, but they understood how Italians' culture operates when it comes to interacting with strangers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you now our dear Gina Joseph, Chief Travel Inspector, serving as General Evaluator. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting, captain of our flight today. And yes, I am the Chief Travel Inspector. And the role of the General Evaluator is to evaluate the entire meeting before the meeting starts, during the meeting, and after the meeting. That's my role. And to do it effectively, I have a team of members. Think of them in terms of travel. First, I have my timer, who we can call our air traffic controller. She ensures that every flight, in this case our speeches, departs and lands on time. Then I have my R counter, and you can think of her as your customs officer who else will walk through customs. You don't want her to check for any extra baggage, like filler words before we pass through. And finally, I have my grammarian, who you can think of as our interpreter, making our language sure our language is clear, colorful, and intentionally understood. And I'm going to call on each of these role players to describe their role and function. So starting with our timer, Jamie, please tell us what is your role and what you'll be doing today.
Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and special guest. As timer, I will time the table speeches, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, the yellow, and the red. They look like lollipops, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At the 1 minute mark, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow lollipop. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red. Those given speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech timers. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 7, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 and 3 minutes long. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Jamie. That is what you call an excellent air traffic controller report. Now let's move on to our R counter, Amy, who will now tell us about her role.
Hello, good day, everyone. Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler for anyone who speaks. During this meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I or this means, and at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker uses these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Amy. And let's try to avoid going through customs today. We do not want that customs report. And finally, we are going to have our grammarian, Magwell, who's going to tell us about his role and introduce the word of the day. Magwell?
Okay, if you used to travel without a passport, today's travel will be different. I will be at the airport to stop you. My role as a grammarian, or if you want, as a club guardian of grammar and vocabulary language uses, my first responsibility is to listen for you for everyone who will take the floor, and I will promote good expression and underline mistakes during the meeting. And my second responsibility will be to provide the word of the day. The word of the day today is jaunt. It's the verb. It means go on a short journey for pleasure. They went jaunting through Ireland. I will give you two examples. After a long week of meeting, we took a quick jaunt to the coast to enjoy the sea air. I will give you another example. The couple's jaunt when called by going to the mountain was filled with breathtaking views. I encourage you to use the word of the day as much as possible, and at the end of the meeting, when I will be called by the general evaluator, I will give my report. If you use as much as possible the word of the day, at the end of the meeting, I will send you a gift. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Magua. Merci beaucoup. Additionally, we have 3 speech evaluators, and today our speech evaluators will silently evaluate our speakers. And so for speaker number 1, Bernadette, she will be evaluated by Ade. Speaker number 2, Haisha Neesmith, she will be evaluated by Magua. And speaker number 3, Tanya, will also be evaluated by Ade. I will come back at a later point in the meeting to give my report. And remember, when we use the word of the day, John, to please always shake your hands, or you can use emojis to applaud our speakers for their ability to incorporate the word in their speech. So let's jaunt to our next destination with our teamwork.
I'm not sure my connection is not working. Are you able to hear me? Because super. And do you see me? I'm not seeing any image here.
Yes, we do. We
We
see.
do.
Awesome. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Now let's come to start our first journey on that jaunt to discover the world. And our tour guide today, the first one to take us on this jaunt, is a Toastmaster starting a new path. Believe me, she's at her 8th path today. And whether you are new or experienced Toastmaster, a new path you start with that first speech called icebreaker. Our speaker has a hobby. She enjoys gastronomy when she travels, African and European cuisine, pastry, and more. She's a financial analyst, now enjoying these hobbies because she's worked a long time and now she's taking a good time traveling, discovering the world and new foods. She's starting this path, but I'd like to call her speech evaluator to provide us with the objective of this level 1, project 1 speech. I'd like to call Ade for that. Are you ready, Ade?
Yes, I can. So the objective of the of a speech is, because it's an icebreaker, I'll look out for a vocal variety as well as a body language, everything, and based on and our delivery style as well. Based on that, I'll give her my report.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this brief and concise objective. Now I'd like you, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, to help me welcome our first tour guide, Bernadette de Medeiros, for her icebreaker speech.
Thank you, Mrs. Toastmaster of the Day. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I invite you to join with me on this short journey, the journey of who I am, why I joined Toastmasters, and the fruits I have harvested so far. This icebreaker isn't just about telling my story, but about sharing how far Toastmaster can take us into a new chapter. So fasten your seatbelts. Let's begin this adventure. My name is Bernadette de Medeiros, born in Sassandra, a town located on the coast of Côte d'Ivoire in West Africa. I embody resilience, inner elegance, and quiet strength. I am the mother of 5 wonderful souls, and by profession, I am a retired financial specialist analyst. I work in this field for 30 years, showing rigor, patience, and perseverance. I hold degree in English, finance, and even gastronomy. To me, true excellence is plural. It combines knowledge, flavor, and service. My professional journey took me from Côte d'Ivoire to conflict zones, including a 5-year stint in Kabul, Afghanistan. There, in the heart of instability, I forged one rare and precious quality: resilience. But beyond my career, I am also an athlete and a mentor. I was once an Ivorian middle distance champion from 1975 to 1980. Those years taught me discipline and the power of pushing beyond limits. Later, I became a member in a pastry, supporting Christian communities in Côte d'Ivoire as well as in Ghana. I believe with all my heart that ordinary people can achieve the extraordinary. I joined Toastmasters, yes. In May 2020, that's when a friend made me discover Toastmasters. Why did I join? Because that green fear of speaking in public that haunted me for years needed to be conquered, yes, once and for all. Here, I find much more than a club. I find a platform there for growth, a place for expression, a safe and supportive environment. Today, I belong to 7 clubs. And most importantly, I have grown today. Yes, I have grown so much. Passing through area director, division assistant for growth, club president, secretary, vice president, education, vice president, public relations, club secretary, and even audit chair. And in July 2023, I received the highest distinction, Distinguished Toastmaster. The fruits I have harvested. Do you want to know? Wow. One of the most precious fruits is my first book, Standing Tall in the Storm. A life of resilience and commitment. It is both a testimony and a call to transformation, trials into strength. But beyond this book, the real fruit is what Toastmaster has taught me. Yes, how to structure my ideas, how to embody my words, and above all, how to touch hearts. As I like to say, the art of public speaking is not to say what you think, but to make others feel what you say. To conclude, to me, Toastmaster is not just a club, it's a family of encouragement, a school of courage, a place where voices blossom, fears vanishes, and leaders are born. And above all, it is where I find my place. Every speech is an opportunity to create an unbreakable bond between the hearts and the minds of the audience. Mrs. Toastmaster of the day, over to you.
We can't hear you. You are still on mute.
Yes, I'm not at my usual place. That noise is around. Thank you, Madam Destination Guide. You are our first destination guide, and thank you for this smooth landing of your speech. And your speech, Fear to Voice My Journey, was incredible. Thank you. It gave us insights about you, sounds and lessons, and how resilient you are. Thank you very much. Next, our second destination guide is someone I very much appreciate. She's so talented. Before I go on, I'd like to call her speech evaluator to provide us with the content of the objective. Magloire,
Yes.
are you ready?
Yes. I'm too excited to present the main objective of the speech of Aisha. Aisha is going to deliver speech number 2 of PAF. And the main objective of the speech, the objective is to inspire the audience. The purpose of this speech is to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspire others. So rely on her. She has 5 to 7 minutes to inspire us. Madam Toastmaster Vede, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Travel Reviewer, Speech Evaluator. Our speaker, what am I saying? Destination Guide number 2 is attempting a level 3 project 2. And this is an elective project in connecting with your audience mastery. Believe me, she's so talented. She's a former Mrs. New York America and Mrs. Maryland and DC American. So she's used to competition and she's very talented. And you see, you understand what I mean in a minute. Our destination guide number 2 is no other than Mrs. Aisha Nesmith for her destination, The Truth Behind the Crown. The Truth Behind the Crown, Mrs. Nesmith, Mrs. Aisha Nesmith.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. As I look around the room, as I jaunt through this speech, I want you to jaunt with me. So this is not going to be where you all just stare at me during this time. I'm hoping that you will interact with me throughout this speech. So let's start with a quick question. When I say the word beauty pageant, what comes to mind? Be honest. Can you feel free to yell something out?
Beauty queen.
Beauty queen.
Princess.
Okay. Be honest. The ones who didn't speak up, you probably thought of things like big hair, maybe sparkly dresses. It's okay. What about the drama? Maybe cattiness, maybe women parading around in swimsuits? Yes, no, maybe it didn't come to your mind, but maybe. Okay, I thought so. And it's okay if those things first came to mind, because my hope is that maybe by the end of this speech, I might change your mind a little bit. Now, from my perspective, beauty pageants are not about sparkly gowns, big hair, or maybe even someone tripping on the stage. Yes, it has happened. I've seen it. But it's about so much more. So, as was stated, my name is Aisha. I have been competing in pageants since I was 12 years old. I came from the inner city, and it was an opportunity for my mom to give me an experience with something that would show me that the world is so much prettier than what was outside of my door, and also so much more. Tonight, today, or this morning, wherever you may be, this is an opportunity for me to pull back the curtain, to debunk some of the myths, and maybe even convince some of you that pageants are not what you think they are. And maybe you might want to do one yourself one day. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Well, let's start with the first myth. The first myth is that pageants are all about looks. Sure, there are gowns, there are cameras, and yes, I own a pair or two of false eyelashes. It's okay. They are easy to apply. They are out there. They are part of it. But the truth is, there's an interview portion. And that interview portion is what counts for most of the competition score. The judges want to know if you can speak like this. They want to know who you are, what you believe in, what's your voice. Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been in a situation where someone was spitting rapid fire questions at you, table topics, and with a whole group of strangers, and you were being judged, evaluators. Anybody? Almost everyone is here. You're right. That's exactly what a pageant is like. It's an opportunity. And I see each one not just as an opportunity to talk or to be judged, but it's an opportunity for me to practice the same things that I practice here with you all today. Practice in growth and becoming a better speaker. At the end of the day, becoming a better me. Okay, let's go on to myth number 2. Well, myth number 2 is that pageant women are catty and overly competitive and ready to pull each other's hair out. I know, okay. Most of you might think of some reality TV. You're in the US and you think it's like this Real Housewives place somewhere here in America. Yes, I don't know. See some laughs or whatever. And maybe you think backstage is like a big slumber party and it just has some rhinestones sprinkled on top of it. Well, in most of the situations I've been in, there are very kind people. There's not a lot of cattiness. There's people backstage helping each other, helping fix or zip a dress or two, helping, maybe even lending earrings when something goes wrong. And sometimes when those eyelashes I spoke about start to slip, ladies, you might know what I mean. They have even the extra eyelash glue to help you out because no one wants their sister or another lady that is with them to not do anything but to display their best. So we're not plotting we're not plotting each other's downfalls. We're not sticking out a leg so that they might hopefully trip. We don't have the energy backstage for sabotage. We are all walking in some 5-inch heels, just trying to make sure that we all are standing at the end of the night. Myth number 3, that pageants are outdated and they don't matter to anyone anymore. Some people think that pageants are just outdated, sparkly dress women that are parading around. But there is a reality. Every contestant in every pageant that I've been in has a platform, and that platform is something that they are championing. Mine is protecting children's rights, and particularly around homeschooling and making sure that families know that they have the freedom to do so if that is what is best for their child. And I focus on mental health, I focus on military families, and I focus on making sure that education is first and foremost the most paramount. So if you look at me, it's less about what I'm wearing, but more that sparkly dress gives me a megaphone so that people can hear what I stand for and what I'm passionate about. And I get to do that in front of thousands of people, not just in my local community, but I get to express my passion project. How many of you would love to express what you are passionate about to thousands of people every year? Yes? Well, that is what a pageant is. So you can even think about it and you can come on board. It is a stage with a purpose. Now, after competing so many times in my life, I have discovered that pageants aren't about vanity. They're about visibility. I have discovered that they are not about tearing women down, but they are about lifting each other and yourself up. They are not about outdated ideas. They are about modern impact. So the next time you hear me present about pageants or you see a pageant on television, don't just picture a tiara or a crown on my head. Picture a woman with a mission, with a story. And yes, I have a suitcase full of rhinestones, but those are just to make sure that my message is heard and that people see me coming. So, for the record, no, I don't practice my pageant wave in a mirror every day. Well, maybe a little bit, because you know that practice makes us all better. But maybe I do that every once in a while because I want to be my best. And I hope that you will consider, if not doing a pageant, just always make sure you're working on yourself, having a pageant, having a passion, and going for what you dream and you believe in. Thank you so much. And I turn it back over to Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, bravo, Madam Destination Guide. Number 2, your speech, the truth behind the crown, Mrs. America, just crushed the myth we had around this competition. Thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for making us travel in your Mrs. America world. Now, last but not least, there's another person I'd like to call. And before I introduce this person, this is our destination guide number 3. Before we take off and to this third jaunt, I'd like to call the travel reviewer for that tour guide. Speech evaluator 3, Ade, again, would you mind letting us know the objective of that project?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Taya, she's completing level 3. And the purpose of our speech today is for the members to develop for her to practice personal strategy for building connection through networking, and also for her to share some aspect of our experience of networking. So as an evaluator, I'll be looking at how she organized her speech, our vocal variety, our body language, the clarity of the speech, the body gesture, interests, as well as the topic. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam Travel Reviewer, Speech Evaluator. Our speaker, what am I saying, destination guide, will help us jaunt into another world. She represents the vibrant culture of Trinidad and Tobago, but her message today travels far beyond her home source. As she reaches the milestone of her final level project 3, this is the level project 3, level 3 project 3, the presentation 3. She reminds us that no matter where we live, in the Caribbean, the Americas, Europe, Asia, or beyond, we are all connected. Today's conversation chose to have. Please, before we get on board, help me welcome our travel guide, Sonia Rahim. A conversation that opens worlds, conversation that open worlds, Sonia Rahim.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, tell me, when you hear the term networking, what comes to mind? Do you think about perhaps exchanging a business card at a conference or some formal meeting? Or maybe walking into a room where everyone is a stranger and you're trying to build up the courage to have small talk that perhaps could turn into an opportunity? To many of us, networking is, well, it's like terror, something that we really dislike doing. It's intimidating, isn't it? You know, what if it wasn't like this all the time? What if instead we thought about networking as something? Look, I'm so sorry. I'm getting so much feedback. It's really hard to get my speech. I'm so sorry. Can I have a restart, please, timer?
Speaker, I'm just muting other microphones now to make sure that that will minimize that.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Toastmaster Tara. It was coming from too many. Thank you, guys. I know the technology is difficult. I really appreciate that. Okay. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, when you hear the word networking, it sometimes can be terrifying. For some, it can be truly intimidating. But it does not always have to be like this. What if instead we saw networking as a conversation that can open the world? Let me share with you an experience I had at a Sir Optimus Tea Party fundraiser. Picture the scene. Ladies in long, beautiful dresses, Caribbean colors, and gentlemen well dressed for the occasion. But that wasn't what really impressed me. What caught my eyes were the young people who were serving us with a smile, warm gestures, making us feel comfortable. I remember thinking, these are the people who are going to lead this country one day. But let me ask you, how many times have you noticed someone? You recognized the effort, truly admired it, but said nothing. Well, having done this course, I wasn't about to let that happen to me. At the appropriate time, I met with these young people, and after letting them know how impressed I was with their work, I then said, hey, how did you get involved in this event? That one question opened a door. Students started sharing their excitement. And later, I spoke with their teacher. She told me the students were eager for more opportunities. They wanted to grow, to serve, to be mentored. Immediately, a thought came to mind. What about Kindness Crew? Kindness Crew is a youth group that I work with. After we spoke, we discovered many opportunities to perhaps partner and provide opportunities for these young people to serve in communities before going off into university. And that's the value of networking. It takes an ordinary encounter and transforms it into a doorway of possibility. Friends, that experience taught me 3 important facts about networking. And I would like to share this with you. First, networking is not about talking to everyone. It's not about working the room. What if instead it was about talking to someone, finding someone that you could connect with and truly listen when they speak? Second, networking is not about getting. Networking is about giving. When you meet someone new, what if we ask ourselves, how can I add value to this person's life? And thirdly, networking is like travel. You just never know what you are going to discover. Sometimes it can be a grand adventure. And other times, it's just a short jaunt, a brief encounter that still leaves you with a memory, a connection, and even a newfound opportunity. So, if you are someone who feels terrified and is afraid of networking, Think of it as a journey. Think of it as your ticket around the world in as long as it takes. Every conversation that you have is like boarding a flight to a new destination, where the only luggage that you are required to take with you is curiosity. Let me leave you with one question. Who might be waiting to start a conversation with you today? Because you never know. The person who's pouring your tea today could be the person who's helping you change the world tomorrow. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Madam Definition Guide number 3. Thank you for letting us understand what networking is. And I can keep in mind that networking is our ticket around the world. Thank you for that. And time is running. We're like running late. Do I have time for the table topics? I'd like to call here our tour guide of table topics, who's someone who's traveled a lot, visited 47 countries to date, 39 out of the 50 US states, and she loves traveling. She recommends that you always try the local food specialty, except in the case where they will not tell you the ingredients. Understandable. Please help me welcome our table topics tour guide, Tara Kawasaki. Tara, a couple of questions.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Do you want me to use this time rather than do evaluation? I'll just double check with you.
We have a silent evaluation for this speech, so probably a couple of questions for our new members, and yeah.
Good, because Madam Toastmaster of the Day, you're far out ahead in this competition, and I decided to name table topics as Friends Who Jaunt. And I'm going to jaunt into this competition because we have been promised a prize. All right. What I wanted to ask our participants today is to think about those sweet stories of friendship from across the world. Perhaps you've experienced a friendship at a place that you visited, something unexpected. Or perhaps a friend has jaunted to your neck of the wood and you have been able to play the host. And my inspiration was on a trip to Casablanca. I was traveling by myself. It's a very big concrete jungle city. I wanted to go see the beautiful sunny beach. I was by myself, and a woman, a middle-aged woman with her daughters and granddaughters, just couldn't bear that I was by myself. And she brought me into their picnic on the beach. And even though I could only speak Spanish and they could only speak French, we did our best to spend the afternoon. And that's the sweetness of friendship around the world. I want to ask if any of you have a story of friendship, one where you've experienced it in another place, or one where potentially a stranger in your place has been able to spend some time with you. I will look for volunteers. I have to say, I cannot see everybody's hand, so potentially if you raise a hand, it will help me find you. I know that I know I'm going to volunteer Magloire to answer this question because he doesn't get a lot of speaking time today. He'll get a little bit. But Magloire, I would love for you, if you can reflect on a story of friendship when you've been traveling or when someone has visited you.
Yeah, story of friendship. Yes. Last time I went to my home village with one of my friends during my holidays. So when we arrived there, we went to a wonderful place But before going, I share my transport with him. And when we arrive there, the guy starts using and giving a gift to every people. So when we were about to come back, the guy he has no transportation fees to come back to Abidjan. That I remember this story and I laugh too much. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you for sharing the story of the person who jaunted and shared so much. I'm coming for Genevieve's record if you can't tell. All right, I want to invite our newest member, Claude, if you have some such story to tell of a friendship that you experienced while on a jaunt.
Wow. I have a story. Hi, everybody. I have a story. It's a long time ago. I was a student in France, and I was taking the train to London. And when I arrived in London at night, I realized that the friend who was expecting me was not back yet at his home. So I was just at the train station, and a taxi driver came to me. He was from Nigeria, and he kindly asked me how to come to his place to spend the night and not to spend the night in the middle of Victoria Station. And I was in my 20s, so it's really a long time ago. And I was a bit also very idealistic because I just followed him, but it was a wonderful evening. He made plantains and all of African food, and his family was very welcoming. And then the next day I found where my friend was there. So it was a really, I never heard of him. For me, it was a really nice, beautiful story.
Claude, thank you so much for bringing us this charm of kindness that you have experienced all over. Madam Toastmaster of the Day, I could take more time, but I know we want to do a few reports to wrap. So I want to leave us with this positive feeling and for us to remember that as we jaunt, we have the opportunity to be that person in Claude's story, to be that hero. We have the opportunity to give those gifts that Magloire's friend gave. So let's not lose that chance. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Wow, thank you very much, Madam Tour Guide of Toastmaster Table Topics. Now, I'd like to call our Chief Travel Inspector for the General Evaluation Reports.
And thank you, Madam Timon. I am going to ask my team, in the interest of time, to give their report in 30 seconds. 30. This is table topic start, and I'm going to start with my timer to give us the timer's report. Jamie, tell us, how did our speakers do?
Thank you. In 30 seconds, Bernadette in our icebreaker, she took 6 minutes and 11 seconds. For our speeches, Haisha, she took 7 minutes and 54 seconds. And for Tonya, her speech was 5 minutes and 37 seconds. For our table topics, we had Magloire, he was just 42 seconds. And our newest guest, Claude, she was 1 minute, 15 seconds. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Jamie. I'm going to call on our counter. Let's see who passed through customs. Amy, give us a report in 30 seconds.
Right. I think everyone did pretty well today. There were 1 or 2 repeated words, and 1 or 2 little mistakes and you know, the pauses and stuff. But other than that, I think everyone did pretty good.
Thank you very much, Amy. We got the green line today at customs. Magwa, in 30 seconds, tell us how we did with language and how many times the word of the day was used.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I think we didn't kill Shakespeare this afternoon again, but the level of the language was good and a good pronunciation for everyone, except me, for example. Congratulations to you. I think the level of the audience was good, and you speak good English, and I would like to be like you. You know, I used to speak French, and I want to speak English more than I speak French. I think you will help me. And many people use the word of the day. 5 people use the word of the day. To catch up the time, I will tell you that the winner is our table topic. She won the game. So I will send you my gift. Madam Toastmaster of the day, the use of the language was good, and I heard good pronunciation, good expression. Thank you. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Mr. Cormarian, our interpreter. And yes, I'm sure we who speak English well will also want to learn French exceptionally well. Give my report now as the general evaluation, and I'm going to talk about what we did well, where we need to improve, and how we can take it up to the next level. So number one, what we did well, we had a fantastic meeting team. So congratulations to our team mod. Give her a great cheer for that, because she came up with a very creative team, and that team flowed consistently throughout the meeting. And what we saw was some of our speakers actually incorporating that team into their speech. So that's one of the great things that happened today. 2, I love the energy we gave to our speakers. We cheered, whether we use the emojis or we use our hands, we cheered our speakers. And that's an excellent thing to do, because it helps our meetings to remain energetic. And the third thing that we did well, we incorporated something new where we invited the speech evaluators to state what the speech objectives are. And that's excellent, because our speech evaluators only speak when they are called upon to do so. What can we improve? Well, let's have some meeting etiquette, because when people are speaking, it is really difficult to hear them speak when someone is not muted. So let's try to keep ourselves on mute when we are not speaking. How can we take it to the next level? We had 3 awesome speeches, and I really enjoyed those speeches, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed those speeches. How can we take this to the next level? Speakers, I would encourage you, when you are giving your speech, please do not name what the speech is. Just get into your speech. If you are doing, I love the fact that 2 of our speakers wanted to engage the audience. And because it's an online platform, if the audience is not going to respond to you vocally, encourage them to use the chat, and that way you can engage them. So those are the 2 options that you can do. All right. If we're getting into our speech, we jump into the speech with a question, with a statement, to just engage the audience automatically. And so that way we lock our audience in. The other thing, we introduce a new concept with the speech evaluators giving the objectives. Try to keep that brief, state what the objective is. If it's an icebreaker speech, just briefly state the purpose of the icebreaker for the speaker to introduce him or herself. We don't need to go into the details of it. We just need to say that briefly. Other than that, well done, team, and great work, and continue having these fun and engaging meetings that help us to learn and grow. And that is my report, and I return it over to our team, our captain of the flag, who did an excellent job taking us to our various destinations. Madam Timor.
Thank you, Madam Chief Travel Investigator. It's been a journey full of learning. We jumped into different destinations with laughter and discovery. With that, I would now hand it to our resident Chief Flight Coordinator, Tonya Rahim. Safe travels until our next meeting.
Thank you so much, Timon. I see some jaunting is still happening in place for that prize. A wonderful meeting. We always leave here smiling, things that we learn. Have a safe week. Travel until we see you all next in 2 weeks' time. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you and welcome.